And once again, we have ground to cover. An unknown amount of ground as we try to figure out what to do next with the gear we currently have. Sure, we've been making progress at a pretty reasonable rate, but like with most other Metroid games, it's hard to really judge how close you actually are to the ending. You just run around, do thing after thing, until eventually there you are at the final boss fight. That format certainly works pretty well for the most part, though I can't help feeling it's gonna be more annoying in a slower paced, longer game like the Prime games than the 2D ones we've done before this point. Okay, little embarrassing that I managed to get injured by one of those slow-moving exploding gas bags, but far from the only embarrassing thing that's happened over the course of this LP, and certainly not among one of the worst. Seems that the pirates have extended their area of operations, or at the very least have started to spawn in more rooms in the game. I can appreciate that things change a little in the overall world as we make progress, though as changes go, this isn't anything especially major. Maybe I'm just spoiled because in Dread, we outright saw bits of terrain changing as some of the major events happened. I'm sure that would be quite a pain in the ass to actually pull off on the GameCube, that's for sure, but I can't help making the comparison. Certainly took me long enough there to get a plan for where to go through to from here, at least for now. They're definitely doing a better job of wearing me down from one fight to the next. They also seem to have stopped bothering to replace the turrets that we've been destroying in this room. Is room even the right word to use considering the environment around us in terms of game limitations and the fact that we always have to go through doors to go from one place to another? Rooms feels appropriate, but we are literally in a lava-filled cave. There's just part of my brain that doesn't feel like the word room is entirely accurate here. So we have to do the spinning thing every time we come here because the drawbridge keeps retracting when we leave. Not the oddest thing around here, but still worth being a little thrown off by. Right, so the super missile will not open that thing up, which means I'm gonna have to try to remember to come here when we finally get to the power bomb, I believe. Sorry for those of you expecting an especially efficient playthrough of the Metroid Prime games. Though considering what you've probably seen in the 2D Metroids I've done, why would anyone think I'd avoid varying screw-ups that would slow me down? I may be quite the veteran gamer, but I'm far from an expert in any of the games I enjoy. Great. Knocked into the lava via flamethrowers twice in the same clip. This definitely isn't a clip that's inspiring all that much confidence in myself so far. Still, I suppose I don't have to be obscenely confident in myself to keep on making progress. After all, we're 17 clips into this game so far. I'm not sure if I'm halfway through this LP, since I don't know how much of the later footage I'm gonna keep fast-forwarding through, but still, I really want to say this is a significant chunk. At the very least, I'm hoping that this LP doesn't get to 50 parts long or longer. Not as much energy as I was hoping for, but still more than we've gotten from a similar number of destroyed enemies before. I'm pretty sure that health pickups in this game are pretty damn random no matter how I look at it. When I first saw the jetpack pirates, I thought they were going to be something special and rare for us to have to fight against. Instead, they seem to be getting thrown around all over the place and become one of the most common enemy types we see now. Granted, we are pretty far into the game at this point, and they're one of the few enemy types that can consistently do quite a bit of damage, but still, it's getting a little bit ridiculous here. Right! Another barrier that we can't get through at this point. Back to trying to figure out what to do from here. Not even really sure this opening segment is worth saving for, since we didn't actually accomplish anything during it, but the save point is nearby. I suddenly have the feeling that this clip isn't going to get to the 20-minute mark, that's for sure. Not with the sheer amount of fast-forwarding I have to do, as I keep looking for a way to make progress at the moment. Sorry, not in the mood to start fighting another bigger Sheegoth in an area where we outright killed the rock boss that gave us the spider ball. Not that I have any idea what else we should be doing at the moment. Again, I'm just running around and hoping that progress just happens eventually. It's just a standard Metroid experience at this point. Probably don't have to kill every enemy out here, but at the very least, having something to shoot while you're lost can be a little comforting than just going from one empty room to the next. It gives you something to vent some frustration at least when the controller is here in your hands, though those missile-only enemies, yeah, that is not cathartic to deal with at all. Definitely nothing that just screams out this is where they must be hiding the next major upgrade as far as I can see. Though I suppose if I left the hint system on, then the game itself would be telling us where we need to go, just like in Metroid Fusion. I've got to admit, while Fusion didn't quite feel as fun or as replayable as the other 2D Metroids we've done, it was relatively easy to comment on, since it had more of a moment-to-moment narrative than any other game that we've done at the moment. Granted, the lore entries in this game help paint a picture of the world around us in a way that not even Dread could pull. But there isn't really a moment-to-moment bit of storytelling here. I'd ask why this area completely lost the energy-based creatures that would bomb us, but then the enemy arrangements in the various areas have changed this far into the game in a number of places. The arrangement of enemies in each room are different, probably to help make up for the fact that even this far in, we have to do a lot of backtracking to figure out where we're going next. And it's gonna just keep on going as the game keeps going. Again, I just don't feel it in me to deal with a smaller version of a boss fight right now. Not when we've got so long with no idea of what to do next. That's definitely more my fault than the game's, since the hint system is a thing, and I deliberately turned it off at the start, and I'm actively choosing not to turn it back on here. But then I've gotten pretty used to being annoyed with myself in these Metroid games, so there's nothing new there. At least I managed to grab a minor upgrade. That certainly upped my morale enough to slow down the footage for about 15 seconds. Let's see what else we can find before I decide to save again and call it a short day. I swear, it was easier to take a guess where it might be a good idea to look for things in the 2D games. Possibly because it took less time to get from room to room in the 2D side of the series. Well, I suppose that's new. Okay, is that hatch going to lead to something especially interesting or just another minor upgrade? Minor upgrade it is! Kinda awkward when it's easier to find upgrades than it is to find the way forward. But I'll take what I can get, even if what I get is so little happening that I feel like I have to just say things for the sake of not being silent in this clip, and doing so just make a noise that it doesn't actually make the LP feel all that more interesting to me, at the very least. Well, not every clip can be us grabbing 2 major upgrades within a 20-minute period. Sometimes all you can do is just try to stay awake as you keep traveling on the road to the next point of interest. You're kidding me! We have to go through blasting through those gray bits of rock again? I thought that would have done some lasting damage that the game would always remember, but then I suppose they didn't think anybody would come all the way back to this room after all. It's not like anything ever popped up out of nowhere in an area we've already explored before. Oh wait! That did happen! In another boss fight arena! Just another thing that makes it hard to know what you're supposed to do next. And in doing so, makes it hard for me to tell where the next major thing we should be able to grab is waiting for us. Besides, with the bits of text saying that we should be able to melt the ice in here, it's pretty obvious that we're gonna have to come back to this room at some point. Right. Doesn't seem to be anything we can interact with via the wave beam and thermal visor for now. Sorry, but it feels like it's another time for us to save. I hope nobody minds that this clip is going to be just shy of 15 minutes long.